Hey there Trekkies, my name is Michael aka the TrekLad and welcome back to my channel. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today.
Beyond the darkness, beyond the human evolution, is Khan, a genetically superior tyrant. Exiled to a barren planet, banished by a starship commander he is destined to destroy. Left for dead, he has survived.
Considered by many to be the greatest Star Trek movie of the bunch, I personally consider it to be the movie that saved Star Trek as we know it. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan is beloved by fans and critics alike. But for every critic, for every Roger Ebert, Gene Siskel or Dana Stevens, there are a few critics out there who don't quite get it. Now, films, like all kinds of art, are completely subjective, they're open to interpretation, and everybody's opinion is going to vary. Criticism is fine. Nothing is above criticism, as long as it's fair, right? As long as it's fair and it's done properly and it makes a point and it makes sense, right? Well, there are a few people on the internet who don't quite follow this rule, so I'm going to be taking a page out of their book. I'm going to be poorly reviewing poor reviews to Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and I'm going to do it as nicely as I possibly can. But before we get into that, if you can give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, I'm attempting to reach 500 subs by the end of October. I'm getting there, I'm getting quite close. If you can help me out and help me get to 500 by the end of October, I will love you forever. And because I'm hoping to do so, I'm just gonna blow a little kiss to you. There we go, just for doing that. Thank you so much. Let's get into these bad reviews. Let's do it. Half a star, falling asleep. Wait, no, felling asleep. Nap time. Nap time, boring. I mean, I'm assuming you're trying to tell me that The Wrath of Khan is a boring film. How? How is it a boring film? It's an hour and 45 minutes of people trying to blow up other people in space. Don't really know how that's boring. It also moves. It moves a ridiculous pace. The movie's done before you know it's... You know, it's fast-paced. How can you fall asleep to this movie? 1 star, set in San Francisco. I've never been to San Francisco, so I don't know if it's bad place. I've heard good things. I've heard good things. What happened to you in San Francisco, Dave? 1 star, the second movie. Yes, it is. The worm thing ear scene is still frightening, scarred me for life. I mean, is that the reason why you've given it 1 star? I mean, surely, if it scarred you for life, and it is quite a horrific moment in the film, it's quite effective, right? Surely worthy of more than 1 star, unless you see movies as a personal attack on you. I don't know. Still, this movie is so bad in every way, and yet it is 1,000 times better than the first one. But in the real world, that only translates as a half-star improvement. You are a harsh critic. Ugh, trying to bribe my second son into watching something else, but he's committed to finishing the series. Your son knows what he's talking about. Good boy. 1 star. Oh dear. Is this washed-up rock star supposed to be formidable? Washed-up rock star? That's Khan Noonien Singh, I'll have you know, and washed-up rockstar. I mean, he looks as good as he possibly can for someone that's been stranded on a planet for like 15, 20 years. Give the guy a break. Probably no more Pantene on that planet. He's got sand everywhere, and worms are trying to kill everybody. Dude looks good, considering. I couldn't take him serious for the whole film. Couldn't take him seriously. Okay. I don't like to say it, but the remake was better in this instance. Again, lack of scope. What do you mean, lack of scope? I mean, they're in space. They cover space. They are journeying through space, and a guy is trying to use a weapon to murder people and create an entirely new planet. It's quite a bit of scope. Quite a bit of scope there. It's slightly better than the first, but not by much. I mean, it is slightly better than the first, but I mean, I just can't take anything that you say seriously. Sorry. 1 star. Horrible story with horrible acting and horrible dialogue. That's a lot of horrible. I mean, horrible story? It's a classic revenge film. I mean, revenge films make up like at least 60% of the movie market. So I'm assuming you think that all of that 60% is just horrible. Horrible acting. It's a well acted movie for the most. William Shatner's performance in it is one of the best performances of his entire career. And horrible dialogue. Horrible dialogue. I mean, most of it is just quoting Moby Dick. So you calling Moby Dick horrible? The painted space backdrops are pretty good looking though. I mean, that's one thing that we can agree on. I mean, the painted space backdrops are good looking. Yes, they are. 1 star. You guys. Really? Really? Really. 1.5. Ooh, a bit better this time. A bit boring. I liked the Khan opening scene with the bugs. I liked the planet builder idea. I didn't like too much else. The rest of the movie is pretty much them in the control room not doing much. Now, I mean, I admit and I accept that a lot of the film is set on spaceships and they spend most of their time on the bridge, not the control room. It's called the bridge. And, I mean, I would completely disagree that they're not doing much. They're trying to kill each other. It takes quite a bit of effort. 1.5 stars. I have never seen a Star Trek movie in my life until now. If you're looking for a corny, cheesy space soap, you're spelt wrong, then look no further. I mean, that's praise, right? The special effects back in the time were probably cutting edge, and today in 2019 they look very bad at best, which actually made the film decades later a bit more fun. I still can't believe I got dragged to this dreck. Whoa there, whoa, hang on a second, that review was going pretty well. Calling it a dreck, that's rude. That's rude. I mean, and also to talk about your special effects critique, I mean, the film was made almost 40 years ago, and I think that it holds up quite well. I mean, the practical effects, the models, they still look pretty good. The Mutara Nebula sequence is still great today. I don't know if we watched a different film or not. I appreciate that a film made in 1982 isn't going to age incredibly well. Of course it's not, but it's still good for the time it was made in. If you want to watch a terrible film with terrible effects, I don't know. Watch Star Trek V, that was made years later, and look at the special effects there. There we go. They're calling it drag, I dare you. 1.5 stars. Do they know that they are all acting horribly? Or does it just rub off from Shatner's presence? What's up with those pecs? Was the story supposed to be mundane? Is the lack of action on purpose? Or the shitty dialogue? Or does this movie just not hold up? What do you mean, a lack of action? It's an action movie. It's an hour and 45 minutes long, and literally, I mean, like an hour and 20 minutes of the movie is a guy shooting at another guy to try and blow that guy's ship up. There's people getting murdered, there's more explosions, and then a ship does get blown up. I don't know. Lack of action. I don't know. I mean, the lack of action on purpose. I don't know. It was on purpose, yes. Now we head to IMDb for a classic review. 1 star out of 10. This is not Star Trek. I've seen this movie many years ago, and then it was good, or at least okay. Recently, I have seen the entire first 3 seasons of The Next Generation on DVD, and compared to those, this doesn't even qualify as Star Trek to me. It deals with none of the deep philosophical questions the TNG crew is confronted with in almost every episode, and the acting is much worse. It is strange to me how this movie can be rated as the best Star Trek movie. I mean, yeah, The Wrath of Khan doesn't have that much philosophy in it. It only deals with the concepts of life and death and aging and family and needing to rely on your family and friends to overcome adversity, overcoming literally a no-win scenario, having your back up against the wall, the philosophies of death and yeah, but no, it doesn't really dabble in many philosophical ideas at all, really, does it? No. It's definitely not Star Trek because of that. 1/2 star. It was bad. The whole thing is green screen. No, it's not. No, it's not even remotely green screen. 2 stars. It's better than the first one, but it's still dull. Almost every Star Trek thing that I've seen so far just seems to be someone sat in a big chair giving orders to someone in smaller chairs, then getting some feedback on whether it worked or not. I mean, yeah, that's Star Trek. I mean, have you seen Star Trek before watching this movie? That's Star Trek, people giving orders to people. I mean, I hadn't noticed that the chairs were smaller, but I mean, it would make sense, wouldn't it? Every time the Enterprise gets shot and hit, a little explosion goes off in the command room. Then, 5 minutes later, there is no sign of any damage at all. It's daft. I mean, what do you mean by this? I mean, literally the second the Enterprise gets hit, the bridge looks like an infant has drawn on the walls with crayon. It looks like someone's burnt their toast and rubbed it on the walls. By the end of the movie, the Reliant it literally looks like a scrapyard. Your review is daft. 2 stars. I watched the new one with Khan a month before I revisited this, and I thought the new movie really made Khan seem like a badass, but he was super weak in this one, and I could not get over that bad fake chest insert. Comma. I mean, I think that's probably the first time Benedict Cumberbatch has been called a badass. He was super weak in this one. Yeah, I mean, he's just taken over an entire ship and using his intellect to coerce people into doing things that they don't want to do, manages to kill loads and loads of people, causes massive damage to the Enterprise, results in the death of Spock. But yeah, weak, super weak. And that fake chest, I'll have you know, sir, well, I mean, at least in my opinion anyway, is real. It's real, and I am not going to question Ricardo Montalban's chest. It's Ricardo Montalban, God rest his soul. But that's Ricardo Montalban's chest, and I'm not hearing any other word said about it at all. And again, use commas. And that's all of the reviews that I want to go through in this video. What did you think about The Wrath of Khan? Leave your terrible film reviews in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more awesome Star Trek content coming at you very, very soon. Did you like what I did here? Did you like me going through terrible Star Trek reviews? Would you like me to do more? Let me know once again in the comments below, and perhaps I will make some more. But until then, everybody, stay happy, stay safe, stay well, and until the next time, live long and prosper.